All right, guys, it's about to be pit weekend. Is everybody excited? Everybody ready?
I just
Yeah,
got my
man, let's
stuff
do it.
packed, just got out of work. I got my train station ticket on the go. It's already in the most recent on my photos. I'm actually ready to dominate. I finally picked my deck. It's been a while. I've been flip-flopping every now and then, but now I got something nice little set in stone. I'm ready to take some prize cards. How about y'all?
Let's
Bro,
go.
I've been telling you, man. Everybody's sleeping on Mewtwo. I'm about to put it on the map.
All right, brothers, let's go. See y'all there. What's going on, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and so I thought I'd do a little bit of like a face reveal slash discussion about my experience at the Pittsburgh Regionals that I went to over the weekend. It was a ton of fun, and this video is going to come off a little negative, so I want to get the positives out there right away. I had an incredible time. I got to spend a ton of time with the boys, Chef Husky, Ginge TCG, Bluestone, Totodile Gang, I Am Guardian, all the other creators. They'll all be down in the description, link down there. So be sure to go check them out. It's a really great group. They're a ton of fun. And also, as a bit of an announcement with this, I have officially joined the Draw Pass TCG team, which is a team run by Ginge TCG. It's a really great group, tons of fun, and it's an honor to be able to join them and take part in tournaments on their kind of behalf and alongside them. So just kind of big announcement there. With that out of the way, I do want to kind of get into a bit of my experience. I'm going to break it down from kind of the beginning to end a little bit, but try not to take too much time on any like one independent thing. So to start, on Friday, me and Ginge drove down with I Am Guardian. Went down and met everybody at the Airbnb. It was a ton of fun to kind of just prep, go get our wristbands and things like that. Getting our wristbands wasn't that bad, honestly. It was, pretty long of a line, but not anything too insane. We were able to kind of get that worked out without too much effort, and kind of got to see the convention center and kind of tour that a little bit. And that was nice. The convention center was pretty good. I'll probably splice in some footage as I talk of the convention center and like some of the areas. It was pretty cool and pretty good to see. So that was exciting, being able to get into there and see all of that. The real problems came in on Saturday, but it was pretty cool Saturday morning to kind of hang out with everybody and things like that. On Friday night, Chef Husky made the like ramen for us that was incredible. It was very good. Or was that Saturday night? I don't remember. No, it was Friday night. Okay, sorry. I'm doing this off memory. I didn't write any of this out. Friday night, Chef Husky lived up to his name, and he cooked us ramen, and it was incredible. I'm going to splice in a picture of that now. Shout out to him. Huge on that one. Very good. Living up to his name in an unbelievable way. So shout out to Chef there. But yeah, I got to hang out with the boys, and that was really fun. On Saturday, we went to the venue. Everybody washed up, deodoranted up, as we should, and as all of you should. If you're going to these regionals, don't get me wrong, I did sit next to a couple people that smelled and did have to tell them, bro, you smell really bad. Please go home and shower. Because, TCG players, I get it. I can't read either, but you got to at least read the word shampoo and deodorant, bro. It's got to be. You're putting the deodorant on. That's how you go. That's how we gotta do it. You got your deodorant, boy. Let's go. Anyway, point being, we got to, we were all getting ready Saturday morning. We went to the venue, and that's kind of where the chaos started. We got there about 7:30ish, and games didn't start until 8. This is where I'm going to get a little bit into the negative. The event was run like pure garbage. The lines outside were horrendous and awful, and that's one thing. But the biggest problem I had with it is that there was zero form of crowd management. There was zero form of security, judges, any form of employee of any kind outside to kind of manage the lines. The lines were insane. It was kind of just up to us. We started snake drafting all the way into the streets. There was no one to tell us anything. That at one point everybody kind of panicked because it got to about 8 o'clock and or about 8:30 at this point, and rounds started, and or at least that was our understanding because no one had told us that the rounds were delayed. And so everyone thinks they're losing their round one, that they're not going to appear for it. And so because of that, all the lines that were like snake drafting ended up just merging into one giant cluster of people massing towards the door. And it created an absurdity. So I'll splice in some footage of that now.
This is straight ass. Like,
We got here 30 minutes early.
Yeah, because he's probably not like on any camera vlogs.
dude, I love the idea that we have 10 minutes to get to our round or so.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick, dude. This
Have
is
to delay around one.
Well, it's about 8:30, so round one should be starting, and this is how we're looking. Haven't seen a judge, any form of crowd management.
We're never gonna start playing Pokemon. This is purgatory. We're stuck here in Pittsburgh. Actual hell.
There's literally no judge. There's no crowd management. It's just ass. It's just straight ass.
But yeah, it was absolutely awful. We didn't get into the building to start until, I think we didn't get in until a little after 9, probably like 9:10ish. I didn't get to play my first round until about 9:30, I think, or like 9:15. Somewhere in that range, probably closer to like 9:20, split the difference. But yeah, so that was awful. Like I said, there was no judge, there was no employee, there was no anything to kind of tell us like what was happening or what was going on. So that just created a huge panic and kind of a nightmare. With that said, after that happened, it wasn't all that bad. We got into playing. My rounds, unfortunately, went really, really poorly. Very, very unlucky day of just like weird stuff going on. Like, I'll do a quick little recap of my games really quick. In my round one, my Fez was prized and my last electric energy that I needed in order to close out game number one, as I was playing Eevee Box against Joltik Box. And I just needed the electric energy on my Flareon to be able to swing. I nest balled. My Fez was prized, and so was my electric energy after I was in a situation where I just couldn't find them for obvious reasons, couldn't get into them, and couldn't draw into another form of energy to close out the game. Lose my game one, that's okay. And going in between game one and game two, I was shuffling up my deck. I dropped 2 cards. They were kind of like stuck together. And my opponent, or not my opponent, but the person sitting to my right, accidentally kicked one of the 2 cards that fell on the ground away from me. And so when we all looked down, we only saw 1 card on the floor. So I picked that up, shuffled it into my deck. As we set up for game number 2, the judge walked by, found my card at the next table. That's how far it had been kicked. And picked it up. I had started the game with 59 cards, so I lost that game in a game that I should have won, which was pretty unlucky. So I lose my round one. In my round two, I should have judge called, but I was trying to work it out with my opponent. But they kept doing really shady things like shuffling their cards weirdly. They were using recon directive and like adding 1 card to hand, and then it was like hard for me to tell which card it was that they added into their hand before making their choice on recon. And like sometimes the card that they would add to hand, they would decide like actually they wanted the other one. And so they'd pick up the card that was on the table and put another one under their deck, like at the bottom of their deck. And it was like hard for me to manage. So I repeated, like I was like, hey man, you got to stop doing this, da 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 da. They were like moving board pieces around a lot. It was on me. I should have just called a judge over because it was multiple instances of kind of foul play. But because of my first incident of getting a judge called on myself, I didn't want to kind of do that. I was a little bit like anxious about that. And that's on me. I should have judge called. But yeah, so I lost that round. There was weirdness going on. And yeah, on my round 3, I prized all 3 Crispin in my EV box. So at that point, I kind of was like, all right, tonight's not my night. And I just kind of got up and walked. So 0-3 drop on in the regionals, which feels really, really bad. Definitely not happy about that, but we will redeem ourselves in the future for sure. We'll go in more prepared and definitely more ready. With that said, Ginge TCG was able to make it to day 2 on Blissey. That was huge for the team. Everyone was very, very proud of him. I'm super proud of him. It was an incredible run by him. And that brings us into Sunday. On Sunday, great time. I played a bunch of side events. Ginge was doing an incredible job on Blissey, making it as far as he could. And it was just a great time overall. As for the venue, this is where my biggest problems come in, going back to some of the negative, since we're getting back onto that topic. Not only was crowd management awful, security was 0. In a way that was like legitimately dangerous. On Saturday, when we were walking in, Bluestone didn't take his charger out of his backpack, so his bag got flagged by the metal detector. When he opened his backpack, he took the charger out and was just like, oh, I guess it was this, and security just waved him through after that, where like they didn't check his bag, they didn't do anything, they just like, oh, cool, you have a charger, keep it pushing. On Sunday, the guy in front of me, his bag flagged like on the metal detector, like beep, 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 all that kind of stuff. And he just showed his wristband that he had from the, like that you pick up in order to get in. And security just went, oh, okay, you're good. Anyone can come and go when you have the wristband, but you still need to go through security. It's like, that's insanity that they just were like, oh, cool, his bag is flagging after he just left and came back in. Like, no need to search him, just let it be. Like, that's insanity. That's super, super dangerous. You have over 3,000 people in a very secluded area, and we live in America where things like, tragically happen constantly. This is like a lot of people could have been put in serious danger because there was 0 security, 0 measures, 0 anything. So that was super bad and honestly was a huge problem. Also, the bathroom situation was horrible. None of the paper towel dispensers worked. There was almost no soap immediately. None of the bathrooms had toilet paper on Saturday. I don't know about Sunday. Not only that, but like the hand dryers didn't really even work. Like there was so much wrong with the venue itself. It was kind of tragic, actually. There was a lot of problems with it. The only upside is that there's a taco place that's super, super good, like a 4-minute walk up from the venue. If you're ever in the area, please go there because there's nothing else to do in that city. Pittsburgh sucks. It's a really, really rough place to host an event. If I'm honest, I'm really hoping it doesn't go there again. I'm sorry for anybody who lives in that city, but it does suck. Hopefully there's cooler stuff somewhere else in that city, but it was not near the venue. So yeah, that was super rough. Really, it sucked. If I'm being completely honest, like hanging out with the friends, hanging out with everybody, that was a ton of fun, but the city itself sucked. The roads are awful. And like super confusing. Like navigating, like all that kind of stuff is super bad. But I guess I'm getting off on a tangent. Side events, ton of fun. Got to play with that, play like raid battles and all this kind of stuff. That was a ton of fun. But yeah, kind of to close this out, I just want to say that my rounds didn't go very well, but that's totally okay. That happens sometimes, and we're going to make up for it in the future. Thank you to everyone who supported me leading up to it and after. It's been really great. Shout out to everybody that I got to meet while I was there. It was a great time. So, if you came over or anything like that, thank you so much for that. It was really cool to meet you guys, and I really look forward to doing it more in the future. And then lastly, I do want to just say, I know I've been a little negative about the event as a whole, in terms of like all the outside of getting to play Pokemon stuff. And I stick to all of that. That is all true. But I want to leave one final message that if you have the opportunity to go and you have an opportunity to play in a regional event, please do so. It's a ton of fun. You will meet some incredible people, and the community for Pokemon makes all of it worth it. Like I said, the venue was not great. There was a lot of problems, but I would deal with all of them all over again in a heartbeat for this community and for the game that we love. And if you even remotely enjoy playing, please go to a regionals. It's an incredible time, and it was one of the best experiences that I've ever had in my life as a TCG/gaming person. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited for Megas to come out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace. Yo, got the practice pregame with the boys.
We're trying.
With the boys. Hey, yo, Ginge, come here. Pre-gaming? With the boys?
First he catch me, he's putting me on deodorant, and now he's got the boobies out.
Yo, I'm trying to get all angles, you feel me? Yo, with the gang?